We're inching up that countdown every day, and I'm feeling more and more like Casey Kasem. This is the best of the best in horror 2019 through 2020, selecting the best in horror released between October 1st, 2019 and September 30th, 2020. Here we go. Welcome back to the official Best in Horror 2019 to 2020 countdown on ML Miller Frights, a part of the Kings of Horror Network. I'm ML Miller. Be sure to give this video a like, share with your buddies across the electronic superhighway, click subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. If you're in the Chicago area and love horror, you have no excuse not to head over to the Chi-Town Movies Drive-In for the music box of horrors at the drive-in. Every day in October for 31 nights of horror, there will be late shows Sunday through Thursday and double features every Friday and Saturday night. Every weekend is themed with Grindhouse Fridays, Rip-Off Saturdays, and Sequel Sundays. Tonight, they're playing the classic Return of the Living Dead, a modern zombie masterpiece that must be seen on the big screen in order to be truly appreciated. Look below for the link to the schedule, where to get tickets, and directions for this awesome horror event. The countdown continues with number 26, Amulet. It was released on July 24th, 2020, and it's available on digital download and on demand from Magnet Pictures. Amulet was directed by Romola Garai. An ex-soldier, Tomas, Alex Sekaranu, is homeless and living in an abandoned building where he is rescued by Sister Claire, played by Imelda Staunton, and handed over to stay in a decaying house with a peasant girl named Magda, played by Wetland's Carla Jury, and her dying mother. Tomas is reluctant to stay, as he doesn't want to be a burden, and Magda is less than kind to him upon meeting him. But when Tomas sees the burden her mother is upon Magda, he decides to stick around and help. The longer he stays in the house, the more unnatural the situation becomes, as it seems Mother is dying of a mysterious ailment. As he develops feelings towards Magda, Tomas reflects upon past sins and decides to help Magda through this horrible situation, unbeknownst that there are evil forces at work hidden away in Mother's room upstairs. Amulet is an utterly original film. It's not necessarily meant for mainstream audiences, as the way the story flips between Tomas's past and present really can be jarring at times. It also seems to be playing from a completely alien handbook, as if these characters were acting out their dramas in a completely foreign environment not discovered yet by man. Reminiscent of some of the more surreal films like Dogtooth, Baskin, and Housewife, and the visually transcendental films of Ken Russell, like Altered States, and especially Lair of the White Worm, Amulet deals with ancient religions, demons, monsters, deities, outcasts, and otherworldly curses. There's no real explanation as to what is ailing Mother and what kind of monstrous situation Tomas has stumbled into, but by the end of the film, you get the gist of it, even though it is twisted and freaky as all get out. I found the film to be fascinating for the most part, but literal-minded viewers are going to have a lot of trouble with the batshit crazy areas this film ventures into. The imagery in Amulet, paired with the chanting soundtrack of primal screams and rhythms, is the ingredients for a truly nightmarish film experience. Amulet will mesmerize you. The film will transfix you with these sights and sounds that feel unearthly and forbidden. While Amulet does have some lulls towards the middle as Tomas develops feelings for Magda, it all feels like intricately carved puzzle pieces falling into place by the time the end reveal is let loose. Actors Sekaranu and Jury are enchanting to watch, as it seems they are genuinely falling in love with one another. But in the end, the film feels much more nihilistic and almost punishes you for thinking it might end in a fairy tale way. Imelda Staunton offers up a surprisingly spirited role here as Sister Claire, who seems to be pulling the strings of this entire warped marionette show. Sure, I had questions at the end of Amulet. The horror is so palpable and vague that any explanation wouldn't be enough, and they're best left unanswered, I think. Amulet should just be enjoyed for the truly odd gem that it is. You may be a bit queasy, freaked out, and downright disturbed by what transpires in Amulet, but I guarantee you'll never forget it once it's latched onto your psyche. While it just came up short to be on this year's main countdown, my favorite Bigfoot film of the year is Monstrous. It was released on August 11th, 2020, and it's available on digital download and on demand from Uncorked Entertainment. Monstrous was directed by Bruce Wemple and written by its star Anna Shields. When their friend goes missing on a trip from Michigan to Whitehall, New York, Sylvia and Jamie, played by Anna Shields and Grant Schumacher, are devastated. It seems many women have gone missing in the Whitehall, New York area, and Jamie is convinced that the Sasquatch activity in the area is the cause. When Jamie answers an ad on Facebook to share a ride to Whitehall, he plans on trying to figure out what happened to his friend. But when he can't go due to the ramifications of a very bad burrito, he sends Sylvia in his place. This is where Alex, Rachel Finnegar, comes in. The Alex they met on Facebook turns out to be the rideshare, and Sylvia feels safe to go on the trip because she's a woman instead of the guy they were expecting. So Sylvia and Alex take to the road and end up in the cabin in the middle of nowhere, with a very real Bigfoot outside wanting to come in. I don't want to get too much into the details of the twists and turns that occur in Monstrous. I'll just say that the script is an unpredictable one. Much of the film develops the budding relationship between Sylvia and Alex, two women who find themselves attracted to one another as the trip progresses. While the film begins with a car hitting what looks to be a baby Sasquatch, followed by a vicious Bigfoot attack, it turns into something much more poignant. Sure, it slows the pace down a bit, but having seen way too many movies that star Chad Michael Murray or Lance Henriksen trouncing in the woods, trying to find Bigfoot only to, you guessed it, happen upon Bigfoot, I'm happy for the change. Just because this film develops character in the first half doesn't mean that there isn't any action, gore, and Bigfooting going on. Unlike many Bigfoot films, there's a reason Bigfoot is attacking this cabin and stalking these girls. The film does a great job of doing some sleight of hand in regards to what is going on and what everyone's motivations are, including the Bigfoots. The attacks are brutal, leaving the actors completely messed up and battered. I also love that they really showcase the size of the Bigfoot as being utterly, well, monstrous in size, standing at least 9 feet tall. While I had some issues with the Bigfoot mask, director Bruce Wemple smartly only shows its face in one brief scene. The rest of the time, it's just a mass of hair pummeling, stomping, and tearing through anything in its path. By focusing on the size rather than the distinguishing features like hands and face, you don't run into the issue of it simply looking like a guy in a monkey suit. Monstrous is one of the better Bigfoot films out there. Having seen way too many bad ones, it's great seeing writers being creative with the beast, actually writing a story around the creature rather than making it your typical sci-fi snoozer. Never forgetting to be character-driven, exciting, and downright brutal at times, Monstrous is a film that will make fans of Squatchploitation proud. That'll be it for today. Check back in tomorrow for my next pick on the countdown. Please chime in down in the comments and let me know what you think of these films, how on the nose or mind-numbingly wrong I am, or you can counter with your own darn list. If you like this video, please pound that thumbs up button. Share this video with your social media addicted pals. If you're looking for written reviews and more countdown picks, you can find them on mlmillerwrites.com. Don't forget I have 2 new comic book trade paperbacks you should look for. GRAVETRANCERS is out right now in comic book stores, and Pirouette collects never-before-published issues and will be out in late November, early December. Diamond order code APR 201712. And be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell for alerts to be the first to see my future videos. Thank you so much for your time, and take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside